The meaning of Psalm 121. I lift my eyes to the mountains. How God guards and protects. How many times have you found yourself questioning where your help comes from in moments of difficulty? At some point in life, we all feel overwhelmed, lost, or unprotected, don't we? It is in these moments that Psalm 121 becomes a true beacon of hope, reminding us that we have an eternal guardian. When the psalmist says, I lift my eyes to the mountains, he invites us to look beyond our circumstances and trust in God as our true source of protection. This is not just an ancient psalm, but a powerful expression of trust that transcends time and speaks directly to our hearts. Throughout life, we all face challenges and moments of uncertainty. If you've ever felt the weight of a difficult journey or looked at the horizon without knowing where to find answers, then you can relate to the message of trust this psalm offers. The beauty of this psalm lies not only in the words, but in the reminder that God is a constant protector, someone we can trust in every moment. Psalm 121 teaches us that, no matter where we are in our walk, God is the one who guards us with infinite attention and care. In this video, we will explore the true meaning of Psalm 121, how it teaches us to trust in God as the one who protects us from both visible and invisible dangers. We will understand, step by step, the importance of trusting in His constant vigilance, His ability to guard us, and, above all, how to apply this trust in our daily lives. Get ready to discover a new perspective on how God can be your source of security and peace, even in times of uncertainty. 1. Context of Psalm 121, a pilgrim song. When we read Psalm 121, it's easy to get lost in its beautiful words, but it's important to understand the context. This psalm was sung by pilgrims as they journeyed to Jerusalem, and many of them walked long and dangerous roads. There were no safe roads or modern transportation conveniences. Therefore, this song had a deep meaning. It was a form of prayer, a reminder that despite the challenges of the journey, God was with them. As they sang these words, they weren't just expressing faith, but reinforcing their trust in God's protection. These pilgrims, just like us, were exposed to various dangers, from wild animals that could appear at any moment to thieves waiting for opportunities to attack. But as they looked to the mountains around them, they knew their true safety came from God. Interestingly, the song mentions the mountains, as in ancient times, mountains were seen as places of stability and refuge. So, the psalm invites us to reflect. When we are in difficult situations, what are we looking to for security? Where are we placing our trust? The journey to Jerusalem represented a search for something greater, a search for God. The pilgrims were on a constant move toward God, and during this journey, Psalm 121 served as an anchor for their souls. Music and prayer often have this role of keeping us firm in the face of challenges. So, as we face our own challenges in life, we can learn from the pilgrims. Trust in God as we walk, knowing that He is the one who is guarding and guiding us every step of the way. These pilgrims were not different from us. While their travels were physical, our journey is often internal. Sometimes, we face invisible challenges, fears, uncertainties, and insecurities that make us question our safety. But when we meditate on Psalm 121, we are reminded that, just like those pilgrims who sang the song, we too can find comfort and strength in the certainty that God is with us. He is the one who guides our steps, whether on the mountaintops or in the valleys. Finally, Psalm 121 is not just an old song, but a living prayer. Every time we read its words, we can feel the strength and protection God offers. And just as the pilgrims fully trusted in God's help, we too are invited to trust, to look to Him in every situation in life. Now, as we think about our own path, let's ask ourselves, in whom or in what are we trusting for our protection? I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? When the psalmist says, I lift my eyes to the mountains, he is doing more than simply looking to the horizon. This lifting of the eyes is a symbolic gesture, a movement of hope and expectation. It's as though the psalmist is looking to the highest points of the earth, and by doing so, he is guided by his faith in a God who is greater than any mountain. This act of lifting the eyes serves as a reminder that, despite the difficulties around us, there is always something greater to look to: God. In ancient times, mountains were considered sacred places, where it was believed that God's presence was nearer. When the psalmist lifts his eyes, he is not merely seeking any help, but he is aiming at the source of his help: God, the creator of heaven and earth. He is not relying on the solidity of the earth, but on the power of the Creator. And this is a lesson we can apply in our own lives. When problems arise, where are we looking? Are we seeking human solutions? Or are we lifting our eyes to the Lord, the true source of help? The fundamental question that the psalm poses is, where does our help come from? Often, we seek help from temporary sources, maybe people, material things, or quick fixes that offer momentary relief. But the true source of help is God. When he says, "My help comes from the Lord," the psalmist reminds us that no matter what is happening around us, God is our only solid and reliable source. Now, let's reflect. How many times have we tried to solve our problems with our own strength, forgetting that, often, the solution is to lift our eyes to God? He is ready to help us, but we need to seek his guidance. Seeking God does not mean just praying in times of crisis, but learning to trust in him every day. This means being attentive to his voice and being guided by his wisdom. Throughout life, we face many types of difficulties, and there is no shame in seeking help. However, Psalm 121 teaches us that, while we seek support from others, our trust should be firmly anchored in God. He is the source of our help, the only one who can give us true peace and security. As we apply this, we begin to look at life with more confidence, knowing that God is the one who guards us at all times, whether on the mountaintops or in the deepest valleys. Before we continue, leave your like and subscribe to the channel to be blessed with more videos to inspire your life. God as the Creator who helps. Have you ever stopped to think that when calling God the Creator, the psalmist is reminding us of his absolute power over everything that exists? Psalm 121 reminds us that the Lord who guards us is the same one who made the heavens and the earth. When we look at the world around us, we see the greatness of creation. And the wonder of this is that this same great and powerful God is the one who cares for us personally and constantly. Isn't that amazing? God, the creator of the universe, who formed the stars, the mountains, the seas, is the same one who is attentive to our lives. He is not distant, but deeply involved in caring for each one of us. When you look up at the sky and see the stars shining, think about this. The same God who made the cosmos is the one who cares about every step you take. He is a God of great deeds, but also a God who is attentive to the small details of your life. The beauty of this concept is that, because he is the creator of everything, God is not limited by human limitations. He has power over all things, and when we recognize this, we can rest assured that he can handle any problem we face. It's like when you take your car to a specialized mechanic. You trust that they know exactly what to do because they have the experience and knowledge. Similarly, we can trust in God because he knows every part of our lives and knows exactly what is needed to protect us. In times of difficulty, we sometimes forget how great the God in whom we trust is. We think our problems are bigger than him, but Psalm 121 reminds us that he is the creator who helps. He not only has power over all things, but he uses that power to protect and guide us. When life storms arise, we don't need to fear, because we are in the hands of the Creator who made the heavens and the earth, and he is guarding us. Now, think about something you are going through and consider this. God, the Creator, is aware of everything. He has the power to change the situation. When we pray, we are not speaking to a distant God, but to a Creator who, with his infinite wisdom, can help us overcome any obstacle. This is truly trusting in God as our Creator and Guardian. The Lord never sleeps, God's constant vigilance. Isn't it comforting to know that God is always alert? Psalm 121 says, "The Lord never sleeps," and this is a powerful truth. While we, human beings, need to rest, sleep, and recharge, God remains vigilant all the time. He never takes his eyes off us, and He is fully aware of everything happening in our lives. This gives us a sense of security that is hard to describe. It's as if we are in a constant embrace from God, knowing that He is always attentive to our needs. Sometimes, life can make us feel alone, as though we are fighting in silence. But Psalm 121 reminds us that, while we sleep, God remains awake, working on our behalf. Imagine that, at every moment of your day, even when you are not aware, God is attentive, interceding, and taking care of you. When you feel fear or anxiety, remember, He does not sleep. He is always by your side. At times, in our moments of weakness, we want God's answers to come immediately. But Psalm 121 teaches us that God's vigilance does not mean haste. It means trust. God has a much broader perspective than we do. Even when the answers don't come on our timeline, He is working and guarding us with wisdom that we can't fully understand. This is the type of trust we need to develop. God's vigilance is a guarantee that we are never truly alone. Even when situations seem out of control, God is in full vigil. No matter how difficult circumstances may be, He is there sustaining us. And this is the beauty of His vigilance. It is not passive, but active, always working for our good. This invites us to rest and trust, knowing that God never takes His eyes off us. Now, when you find yourself worried or afraid, remember this verse. It is a reminder that while you rest, God never rests. He is working for your protection, always attentive to what you need. And as you feel protected by His vigilance, you can move forward with confidence, knowing that God is taking care of all the details of your life. The Lord is your guardian, protection from visible and invisible dangers. Divine protection is one of the greatest gifts we can have, and Psalm 121 leaves no doubt about it. The Lord is your guardian. But what does this protection really mean? Often, we think that God guards us only from visible dangers, like accidents or financial problems. However, true divine protection goes beyond that. God also guards us from invisible dangers, such as spiritual forces trying to lead us astray, temptations disguised as something good, and even worries that steal our peace without us even realizing. Imagine, for a moment, the dangers you can't see, the negative influences trying to enter your life, the temptations that appear disguised as something beneficial, and even the anxieties that take away your peace without you noticing. God's protection goes beyond what we can see. He not only guards us from the physical, but also from the spiritual. He acts where we can't see, protecting us from dangers we can't even imagine. God's promise is of continuous protection, one that never ends. No matter what you face, whether it's a struggle with fear, health problems, or even an emotional challenge, He is there, guarding you every step of the way. And this protection is not limited to times of crisis, but is available every minute of your life. This reminds us that, regardless of what happens, we can fully trust in the Lord to guard us. At times, our lives may feel like a constant battle against difficulties that seem to come out of nowhere. But Psalm 121 gives us the certainty that, even in the most unexpected situations, God is guarding us. This is something that can give us great peace. Have you ever felt protected by God from something you couldn't see, but know He protected you? That is God's hand at work in your life, guarding you. Finally, as you meditate on this divine protection, remember that it is not just a promise for the future, but something you can experience now. God is working in your life, protecting you from things you don't even know are happening. This is what it means to trust in divine protection, a constant care, both for the visible and the invisible. Throughout this video, we've seen how Psalm 121 brings us a profound message of trust in God. It not only reminds us that God is the creator of everything, but also that He is constantly vigilant, taking care of every step we take. In times of difficulty, it's easy to lose ourselves in anxiety, but this psalm teaches us to lift our eyes and remember that our true help comes from the Lord, the Creator who never sleeps and is always attentive to us. He is our refuge, our help, our guardian. God's protection, as revealed in Psalm 121, is not just a promise for times of crisis, but something we can experience in our daily walk. He guards us in both visible and invisible ways, and this gives us a peace that transcends any circumstance. When we look at life through the eyes of trust, we begin to see how God is always acting on our behalf, even in the simplest or most unexpected situations. If this video has touched your heart and you feel this message of trust in God can help others, share it with your friends. And remember, whenever challenges arise, just look to the mountains and be reminded that our help comes from the Lord. Subscribe to the channel for more insights and reflections like this, and continue to strengthen your faith with confidence in a God who is always present, ready to protect us. Until next time.